Tiger fans, it's time for another footage analysis video, and today I want to focus on our inability to bring the ball inboard on those 45-degree kicks, which is forcing us to bomb the ball down the line relentlessly. I see a lot of commentary around the fact that people think it's deliberately coached as the way we want to play, and I just wanted to do a video showing that it's not how we want to play. We're actually being forced to play that way because teams are very good at setting up zones and making sure you can't take that kick off. It's frustrating. It's not going to help us win a lot of games, but unfortunately it's how modern football's played. So with that said, let's jump across to the video footage. I'll show you what I mean. We'll see some examples of what we're doing wrong, and we'll see then what Adelaide are doing as well in contrast, and you can have a look and see the differences yourself. All right, so this is pretty early in the first quarter. So in this instance, we do concede the mark to the Crows here. And then what I want to have a look at firstly is let's have a look at how we're setting up to guard the corridor in this initial example. So they've taken the mark. I'll wait for the camera to pull back. So we'll pause it there. Now, you can see if you're looking up towards the wing part or the middle part of the ground, the Crows have got essentially three viable options in a triangle almost in the middle of the ground that they could, if they wanted to move it on quickly, and you can see him looking inboard. And I'm actually surprised in this instance, he didn't actually take that option, surprisingly, but that option's there. He's got three players he could potentially pick out with a flattish pass. You can look at our defenders are running back. So we've got Alga on the mark, Nanks running, trying to cover some space in the middle here, but we don't really have anyone in that middle part of the ground in a dangerous spot. So we'll roll it, and like I said, in this example, he actually does kick it up the line, which was interesting, which is what we want him to do. So then Brody takes a mark and we cause a turnover. So that's actually what we want teams to do. Now, in contrast, when we talk about how the teams are setting up, you look at where the Crows are already positioned and where they're running to. So you've already got players at the front here looking to run across towards the central part of the ground. They've already got someone on for a long inbound pass. They've got two players in the 45-degree angle pass. And look where all of our players are. All of our players are then situated in front of where Brody is. I know the ball's kind of come from there, so that's why they're already standing there. But we just don't have any real option to kick it into the middle of the ground. So if we roll it, if we keep rolling it, even to just before when he kicks it. So there's been a few seconds elapsed where both teams have had chances to, I suppose, set up and get into a dangerous spot. But you can see just to the right of Broad in that 45 area, you've got three Crows players, and there's a gap behind them. So maybe we could utilize that gap behind them for a kick, but it's got to happen quickly. We can't take 7 to 10 seconds to make a decision. We've got to have someone instinctively getting into this spot, maybe at the top of the 50 for a switch across the ground. And then you've got a player longer over the top behind the center circle that we could potentially get it to next. We just take a little bit too long when making our decisions, which gives teams the chance to man or to zone accordingly and stifle any opportunity we've got. So if you look further down the field, we've got on the AFL logo, there's a 2-on-1, so we can't kick it there. We can't kick it to the 45 on the edge of the square because there's a 3-on-1. So we've pretty much got no choice but to kick it down the line back where it come from. And this has been, I suppose, the bugbear of supporters. But I mean, in this instance, we do go short, but we've still got no other options inboard. So Ross has taken the mark. Again, looks inboard, and you can still see that we've got one option here on the edge of the square, but you've got a player already anticipating that move to cut it off. Someone a bit further over the top. We've got two players now backwards of where Jack Ross is for the backwards and across kick. So we're just really limited for options on where we can actually send the ball. So he's looking around, hasn't got much on, and is forced to just bomb it away down the line. And then by the time we get to this contest, we've got 1, 2, 3, we've got 4 one-on-ones with another Crow closing in. We've got our players running in front and center, but it just ends up being a genuine 50-50 contest, which is what Adelaide and other clubs are wanting us to do, much like it's what we're wanting clubs to do to us. And we've got another example here. So Hugo Ralsmith is about to mark the ball on the half-back line from a kick from Jonty Fall. So we'll let him mark the ball. So he's gone back. He's having a look inboard. Now, if we pause it here and have a look at where the Crows are all situated, just naturally by the way they play the game, you can already see there's two people on the very close inboard side to him, and they've got another, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They've got another 7 players from behind that onwards that are patrolling that middle part of the ground for that 45-degree kick. So you can see Hugo's looking inboard. He's looking to put the ball there and do the right thing. But there's just no viable option and no way that he could do that without the ball being turned over due to the hang time the ball's going to receive. So you can see as you roll it a bit further and they start to set up even more. We've got 2 players almost on the AFL badge right in the middle of 4 Crows players. Not a viable option. We've got, I think that might be Tom Brown, a bit further, a bit more closer to the right-hand side of Hugo, in between 4 Crows players again. A very good kick would get it there quickly, but when you're playing at the elite level and you can read cues on kicking and things like that, that's a really dangerous kick to pull off. So not really a percentage option or a viable option. There's, I think, Vlosten you could probably go backwards to if he wanted to. And maybe we need to start consider doing that more often, is pulling the trigger and going backwards more and working across and trying to open the ground up that way. But the end result being that with no options to really kick to because of the way the Crows have structured up, we've again had to go straight down the line. And the Crows, well, they probably could have a free kick there, but they've turned the ball over anyway, and they get possession, they can restart their chain. Now, on the flip side to all of this, in the way that teams take away our ability to go inboard, let's look at the reverse. Darcy Fogarty's just taken a mark on the half-back line. He's pushed back really deep there. But you can see, if you look at the direction our players are all running in, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got almost got 6 players are all heading towards boundary side. And they're chasing two Crows players and Jordan Dawson, who's kind of lagging a little bit behind. And then you've got Crows players who are already towards the central part of the ground. Some are already making their way into the corridor. And we've got, I think it might be Jack Ross there on Saligo, it might be, as a one-on-one contest, but no other real representation in the middle of the ground to guard any type of kick that's going to go in there. So we'll roll it forward. And again, notice how quickly he's taken that kick from the time he's marked it. A Crows player instinctively run into that little pocket of space that's been left behind because all the other players have pushed up the ground. And Fogarty's instinctively then kicked it to the player instead of waiting that 10 or 15 seconds like we tend to do, and everything gets taken up. So even at this moment now, the Crows player is about to take the mark, and we've still got one-on-ones ahead. There's someone, Elga's going to probably come across and man the mark, and then there's someone very central in the corridor, but a lot of our players still aren't set up in the right positions yet. So the mark gets taken, and then all of our defenders keep pushing up the ground, and you can see we've got 2 players to the right of the guy with the ball, very, very central, and then we've got no one really straight ahead in still a very dangerous spot in the centre part of the ground, but just further down the wing. And the Crows players just wheeled around. He was in a 2-on-1 situation. Our player's gone with the other guy running further up the ground. He wheels around, popped over the top, mark it, and then they're in a dangerous spot. Another quick release here, so they're not messing around too much. They get the ball inside 50 and didn't take the mark, but you can just see the way in which they're moving the ball quicker, the pockets of space that open up, and we're not set up to guard that kick in the corridor. And that's the difference between what they're doing and what we're doing. So there you go, guys. There's a couple of examples of what we're trying to do. You can see the players' heads swivel to look inboard, but due to Adelaide set up their structure, how well sound they are defensively, they're taking away that option for us to go inboard, which is resulting in us kicking down the line more often than not. And the good teams will set that up really well time and time again. And as you saw from our example, we're not fully functioning and on the same wavelength, the same experience yet with our setup. So we kind of fell apart, and that's why the Crows were able to find those little pockets of space and work their way up the ground pretty convincingly. And that's how teams open us up. It's an experience thing. It's a training thing. It's a method thing. They'll learn it. The other thing it does highlight too, though, and EJ's pretty big on this on the Monday night show, but we're very slow to release the ball from the back line. We have to sort of become a bit more instinctive. When we take a mark or get a free kick, players have got to just instinctively get into those dangerous spots, whether it's for a quick switch kick or into a pocket of space, and the player with the ball has to identify it quickly and just pull the trigger first time. Don't stop and go, and then go, oh no, maybe I'll go down the line. And by the time you do that, 10 or 15 seconds are passed and all exits are cut off and it's a predictable kick down the line. And we rinse and repeat. So a bit to take from that. Just thought it'd be kind of interesting to put up some different context on different things that we do and that the opposition do. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Was it interesting? Did you learn anything new? Does it give you a different insight as to why we maybe aren't doing the kicks you want us to see all the time? And hopefully it's maybe alleviated some frustrations, because it's not necessarily all our fault. It's credit to the opposition for setting up how they set up as well. But let us know what you think. And until the next one, go Tigers.